all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Hello and welcome to episode 9. Baba Booey 9. We are here today by myself. I don't know why I said we. Later in the podcast, though, I will edit in a little section where Booty Guy and myself are talking. That is from last week. I ran out of time editing the last episode, so that was kind of extra stuff that I'm going to put into this week's. So it's just me by myself today until you get to that part. I am your host, Mosh. I don't know if I want to call myself a host. That sounds weird. It sounds too professional. I'm not professional enough for that. Before I get into it, if you are listening on other services, make sure to search us up on YouTube. Just search the name of the podcast and you'll find it. And if you're listening on YouTube and you want to listen on other services, check the description for links to that. All right, so let's get into this. The free games for PlayStation Plus for the month of March are Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered and The Witness. I'm not entirely sure what The Witness is. I think it's like a small indie game. I'm pretty sure I've heard good things about it. Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. I mean, it's a free Call of Duty game. It's Call of Duty 4. If you didn't play it before, now's your chance. It's not bad. My only issue with it is it doesn't really feel like the original. But it's whatever. It's fine. It's better than the last few Call of Duties. So if you're looking for something somewhat solid to play in the Call of Duty franchise, then, I mean, it's free. If you have PS Plus, it's free. Keeping on with the Call of Duty, Charlie Intel sent out a report, so you know it's legit. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Campaign Remastered appeared on a Europe ratings board, the PEGI, PEGI 18. Whereas in America, it's like ESRB or North America, whatever. Canada and Mexico exist sometimes. PEGI rated it, and just to clarify, it says Modern Warfare 2 Campaign Remastered. Not multiplayer, specifically campaign, which the rumors last year said that if Modern Warfare 2 was remastered, it'd be campaign only, which made people very mad because what we love, I mean, the Modern Warfare 2 campaign is good. Don't get me wrong on that. We want multiplayer, though. That's what kept people around. That's what sold all those millions of copies, was for that sweet multiplayer goodness. So it's looking like the rumors could be true that it is campaign only, but I have a theory. I know it seems like all we talk about on here is rumors, leaks, and theories, but so like a couple weeks ago, we were talking about Modern Warfare 4 and what could possibly be in it, and part of the rumors were Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 were going to be remastered and bundled with Modern Warfare 4. Well, what if Modern Warfare 4 doesn't have its own multiplayer? What if all three are combined into one? So they take fan favorite maps and weapons from Modern Warfare 2, fan favorite maps and weapons from Modern Warfare 3, and some new maps and some new weapons from Modern Warfare 4, and combine it all into one multiplayer. Could happen. The problem, though, is every Call of Duty plays differently. And when I mean they play differently, they feel different. Modern Warfare 2 feels different than Modern Warfare 3. Black Ops 1 feels different than Black Ops 2. So it'd be really weird to play like all this Modern Warfare 2 stuff and it not feel like Modern Warfare 2. Like I was just saying, Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered doesn't feel like Call of Duty 4. So that's why it could be a little weird, because people don't want that. If you're going to remaster or remake a game, it needs to feel like the original. So if there's a bunch of Modern Warfare 2 stuff in there and it doesn't feel like Modern Warfare 2, people aren't going to be happy. That's just the way it is. Also, Modern Warfare 2 campaign remastered thing has to be bundled with a new Call of Duty. It just has to be. It cannot be sold separately unless it was sold separately down the line, like what they did with Modern Warfare Remastered. Because Modern Warfare Remastered came with Infinite Warfare, and you had to pay a little extra, but Modern Warfare Remastered had campaign and multiplayer. If this has just campaign, you can't sell it on its own. It's got to be bundled. So that's why it kind of makes sense that maybe all the multiplayers are combined into one. Maybe. I don't know. I guess we'll just see. I mean, we have no choice but to wait and see. And this stuff is going to start, a lot more rumors and leaks are going to start happening because Call of Duty usually gets leaked around like late April into May. And then May is usually when it gets like announced, because I think they usually announce it around the NBA finals, depending on how quickly we get to those, how long the series lasts. If they start going to best, or if they start going to game 7, then it's going to take a while. But if the early rounds go by quickly, then probably hit it up at the end of May. Because sometimes NBA finals go to like Father's Day. But, you know, you got to milk that advertiser money. But, you know, it's none of my business. And lastly, with Call of Duty today, Black Ops 4 is adding a barebones classic mode, which means no specialists. They're going to add a mode of no specialists. It's going to be glorious. I don't know when they're adding it, but it's happening. Back in the day when they added barebones, though, it meant like no kill streaks, and I think no perks even. I didn't play barebones much, but I know it definitely had no kill streaks. So I don't know if it's going to be the same like that, or if barebones in Black Ops 4 just means no specialists. Either way, no specialists. I gotta put scavenger on all my classes though, because some classes I run strictly with Crash and he gives ammo. So if I don't have my ammo giver, then I need to just have more ammo. Treyarch also said that they're adding prop hunt sometime this season, which is great. I can make some prop hunt videos again, so I'm kind of looking forward to that. Hopefully they do prop hunt right though, because when it was introduced in Modern Warfare Remastered, at the very beginning it was really good because props could regenerate health, which was awesome. It made it very easy to mess with people. And of course, people had to complain, and they removed that, which made it really hard to mess with people because some props get destroyed in like one bullet. So hopefully Treyarch does it right. Give us some of that health regen. If you can't kill a prop that takes like 3 bullets or so to kill, then you have no right to complain. Work on your aim or something. Jesus criminy. You ruin it for the rest of us. I have to mess with people when I'm a prop in prop hunt. That's the only fun way. I've seen other people make prop hunt videos where they're the prop and they just sit there. They just hide and sit there for like 10 minutes or for a 10-minute video. It's like, that's boring. You gotta mess around with people. It's more entertaining. Alright, I'm done with Call of Duty. Moving on. It seems as if the game Anthem is causing consoles to crash. So, not the game itself crashing, it's the entire console is crashing. And there have been reports that some people's consoles won't even turn back on. It just like killed the console. So that's crazy. That's a very bad thing to have happen. So if any of you have Anthem, maybe not play it right now until a fix happens. This game it's a mess right now. Between just like the negative reviews and just negativity around it, and now it's not a good look. And I want to say a lot of people blame EA for a lot of this stuff, and you're putting the blame on the wrong people. If there's an issue within the game itself, that's all on BioWare. If the game is crashing or causing consoles to crash, if you can't sprint in the little main hub world area, if you can't find how to paint your javelin because for some reason they make it very clear how to change the material and metals, but the paint is off to the side and doesn't really tell you how to do it until you find it by accident. If, some things aren't explained properly, if there's a lack of this content, if there's a lack of that content, if the open world feels boring, that's all on BioWare. That's not EA's fault. The only thing EA can be at fault for is microtransactions, servers, and marketing. I'm not defending EA. They've definitely made mistakes in the past, and even to this day continue to make those mistakes, and they should be held accountable for them. But I'm just saying, it's like when one thing goes wrong in a game, it's EA's fault. It's like, no, it's not. You can put the blame on the developer. It's not always on the publisher. Pokemon announced some new games. Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. Ooh. People want that big open world RPG style Pokemon game. Guess what? You're not getting it. You're getting a game that looks like a 3DS game put on Switch, but better graphics. Just like the Zelda remake looking thing. So if that's your hopes and dreams, congrats. If not, you're gonna be waiting a while for the Pokemon game you want on a Nintendo console. I don't think a Nintendo console can run what people want. Anyway, they announced the 3 new starter Pokemon. I think these are brand new. I don't pay attention to Pokemon anymore, so I don't even know what generation they're on. But the grass type starter is named Grookey. He's like a little monkey looking thing. The fire starter is called Score Bunny because it's a bunny, and score like scorch, and fire like it's a scorch bunny, And then the water one is called Sobble. I don't even know what it is. It's like a tadpole or something. And it's really sad, like Sobble, sobbing, crying, sad, depressed looking Pokemon. There's a joke in there somewhere that I'm not going to say. And moving on. Next up is talks of Demon's Souls being remastered. So there was a thread on a site called Reset Era about whether or not Sony will release a remaster of Demon's Souls. because Demon's Souls is a PlayStation exclusive. And Jason Schreier, who I've mentioned many times before on here, posted a comment, and it's like his actual account. It is confirmed that it is him. He posted one comment in that thread, and he just said yes. So of course everyone's like freaking out, but we don't know when. Just said yes. Doesn't mean it's going to be soon. Could be in 5 years. Could be in 25 years. Who knows when? But Blue Point Games, who are known for like remastering and remaking games, are working on a game right now, and it's been rumored for a while that it could be Demon's Souls. The biggest rumors are Demon's Souls or like Metal Gear Solid trilogy remake. Or not trilogy, but the first 3. So Demon's Souls could very well be on the horizon. Another game on the horizon, Borderlands 3. Gearbox, the developers, have teased that never-before-seen reveals will be happening at PAX East 2019, and they're holding an event on March 28th where these reveals will happen. So, again, a lot of speculation that it could be Borderlands 3. So, if you're a Borderlands fan, keep your eyes peeled. March 28th could be the day that your game is revealed. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, the new Star Wars game from Respawn Entertainment, best known for Titanfall and then Apex Legends. They will be revealing their new Star Wars game on April 13th. This is not a rumor or a leak. This is 100% confirmed by EA themselves. I think it's Star Wars Day, or is it May 4th Star Wars Day? May the 4th be with you. Or April 13th, Star Wars Celebration. I don't know. It's some Star Wars related thing. April 13th, we're going to see the game for the very first time. So yeah, we'll see what Respawn can do outside of shooters, because all they've done have been first-person shooters. So this should be interesting. So the other day, THQ Nordic decided to do an AMA. And usually when you do an AMA and ask me anything, you do it on Reddit. But they decided to do it on a site called 8chan, which is not a good place at all. It sounds like 4chan, but with an 8, so I figure it's twice as bad. Apparently, it's like way bad. I guess that site is filled with like a lot of racism, a lot of just, swatting, a lot of negativity, stuff that involves children. That is not good. You could probably figure out where I'm getting at with that. And they decided to have an AMA on there. And people were not happy. They're like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? And they're like, oh, we were given an opportunity, so we took it. And then they went on to say afterwards that they didn't do it for publicity or anything. It's like, yeah, you did, but whatever. It's really weird. I don't know why you would ever think that was a good thing. So I know people say publicity or like bad publicity is good publicity or any publicity is good. Whatever the saying is, that's not always the case. This is not good publicity. I don't know how a site like that even exists. I don't know how the FBI doesn't like step in and shut it down, or how they're not knocking on these people's doors. Be like, hey, bud, got a few questions for you. I don't know. Internet's a weird place. It's good. It's bad. It's a thing. And the last gaming related thing I have for today, not a whole lot of gaming happening these past weeks. That's why I've been talking about so many leaks and rumors, honestly, because just not a whole lot. Actually, it's not the last gaming thing, because I played the Division 2 beta. So I'll talk about that briefly. So I played the Division 1 beta. Didn't really do anything for me. Nothing crazy enough for me to actually buy the game. It was just kind of whatever. Kind of boring, So I thought I'd give the Division 2 a chance, because I heard it was very much improved from the first game when I played it. It's the same game. It's like the exact same thing. It doesn't feel different. It's set in a different place. I think the first one was in New York. Now it's in Washington, D.C. I did not enjoy myself at all. It was probably one of the most sarcastic streams I've had in a while. It was a very disturbing and traumatic experience. The best things about the game are the random dogs that walk around and the fact that you can do jumping jacks. So my experience with the game, I basically did some jumping jacks, got bored, did a mission, started doing jumping jacks again, found a real player, stood in front of them, started doing jumping jacks in hopes that they would do jumping jacks with me. They did not do jumping jacks with me, so I did another mission. And then I was in like an elevator, so I started doing jumping jacks, and then I finished the mission. And then when I was out in the streets again, I started doing some more jumping jacks, and that was pretty much it. Oh, and then I started doing jumping jacks on a trash can or a dumpster, which was cool. And then I shot an upside down cross inside a car's window because I was feeling pretty edgy because all I had left in that world was jumping jacks and I needed some more excitement. And then I uninstalled the game. So that was my experience with Division 2. Another thing, expect the Apex Legends Battle Pass 1, Season 1, to be announced very soon. The new legend Octane was leaked. And I believe this to be true because we saw what he looks like, and the art style of it is just like the art style of the other legends. So that's why I believe it to be true, because it's really hard to imitate other people's art styles. So I think it's real. And it said March 12th, which I would think that would mean Season 1 starts March 12th, which would be a Tuesday, which would be a week from when this goes up. So if that is true, then I would expect they have to announce the Battle Pass sometime in the next few days. Now the last gaming thing I have to talk about is the lineup for EVO. So EVO or Evolution is like the big fighting tournament of the year. It's held in Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas. It's going to be happening this year, August 2nd through the 4th. Some controversy about the lineup of games. So the lineup for 2019 is BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, Dragon Ball Fighters, Mortal Kombat 11, Samurai Showdown, Soul Calibur 6, Tekken 7, Street Fighter V Arcade Edition, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and Under Night In Birth EXE : Late. Now a game is missing, and that game is Smash Bros. Melee. Now, the Melee fans are not happy about this. Here's the thing. Melee is old, okay? These are all new games, or newer games. Why would Nintendo promote Melee over Ultimate, their new game? Doesn't make sense. Melee people need to understand that if they think they're going to continue to make a living or any sort of money off this game long term, they're in denial. You're not. You can't live off this game forever. It's got to end at some point. And a lot of Melee players seem like jerks from what I've seen. I'm sure there are nice ones out there who are respectable and all that. From the ones I've seen who are like top tier players, bad sportsmanship. They're very salty. They'll go on Twitter and they start complaining, making excuses. If you're going to be a pro at a game, this isn't just for esports, this is for all sports. If you're going to be a pro, you need to be a professional during the activity that you're a pro at and away from it. If you're a basketball player, you're pro on and off the court. Football, on and off the field. Same thing goes for esports. Because when you become a pro, your status changes. Suddenly people look up to you. You have to act differently. And these people are not mature. They're stuck in the past with this little game. You got to move on. If you cannot call yourself a pro at Smash if you're only good at Melee. You need to be good at multiple Smash games. And if you can't adapt to the new one, you're not good. Don't call yourself good at Smash. You're good at Melee, and that's it. Adapt, get with the times, play the new game, or shut up about it. That's all I got to say about that. But speaking of Mortal Kombat 11, there has been a pretty big leak in terms of the entire roster being confirmed. Or not, I shouldn't say confirmed. It's not confirmed. But every person on the roster being leaked. So I'm not going to say it because some people want the character reveals to be a surprise, and I understand that. But if you want to know who is going to be in the game, people are taking this leak as truth. Because I guess someone that works for NetherRealm or worked for them is the one that leaked this. So that's why people are like, this has to be true. I don't know if this to be true. If you want to know the roster, look it up yourself. I'm not going to say it because that leads into spoilers. All right, moving on to the music. So a couple weeks ago, I made a prediction. I said between the time that podcast went up and March 1st, that After the Burial would release a brand new song. And on February 26, 2019, Behold the Crown, the newest single from After the Burial, was released upon the world in its glorious, glorious ways. It's a great song. It's After the Burial. It's classic After the Burial. I mean, there's nothing more to say about it. It's got pinch harmonics for days. There are 8 of them in the main riff, and the riff repeats multiple times, so there's a lot of pinch harmonics. That's okay. It annoys some people. I'm fine with it. Along with the release of the new song, they announced their album. It is called Evergreen, and it will release April 19th. The track list is Behold the Crown, Exit Exist, 1126, Influx, Respire, Quicksand, The Great Repeat, To Challenge Existence, and A Pulse Exchange. Now, 11/26 is written in a way of it being a date, so it's 11/26, so it'd be November 26th. And I was trying to figure out what that meant, because a few years ago, their guitar player died. We don't know if it was suicide or accidental, because he was losing his mind, like super, like schizophrenic or delirious. I don't know. He basically thought his band was after him, and they were working with like people, and they're trying to like frame him for some. He was like really losing his mind, and they found him dead at the bottom of like a bridge in the woods. So they don't know if it got so bad that he jumped and killed himself, or maybe he was walking at night and he didn't see that it dropped off and he just fell. We don't know, but anyway, super talented guy. It was very unfortunate that this all happened. 11/26 is neither his birthday or his death date, because that was my first thought, is like, oh, that song is dedicated to him. But it's neither of those things. So I don't know what 11/26 refers to. But they had an album before this one that came out after the guitarist died, and there were some songs on there dedicated to him. So this is going to be a great album. There are some albums out there that you know are going to be good, and they just cannot fail. This is one of those albums. This is one of those bands and one of those albums that it just cannot fail. It's going to be good no matter what. And it's coming out 2 weeks after the new Periphery album. So on March 29th or 28th, I don't remember, is the new Whitechapel album. A week after that is the new Periphery album. And 2 weeks after that is the new After the Burial album. So we're going to have a nice little like month or so there with some pretty sweet music. Slipknot, my boys, have announced their United States or North American tour, I think. I think there's Canadian dates. Anyway, they're touring. It's Slipknot. It's the rumors that I said a few weeks ago. They're true. It's Slipknot, Volbeat, Gojira, Behemoth, called the Knotfest Roadshow. And they announced the release date of the new album, which is August 9th. A lot of people thought it was going to be in June because Clown said, oh, we're not going to tour without a new album out. Guess what? Things change. People were so dead set on this album coming out in June. I was like, it's not happening. Sure enough, it's not happening. It's happening in August, which is fine. And if you buy tickets to this tour, you get a digital version of this album for free. It comes with each ticket, which Metallica did that a couple years back, where actually you could choose if you want digital or physical. If you want physical, they'd mail it to you. This sounds like it's only digital, but whatever. You get a free album with it. So if you go to knotfestroadshow.com, you can see all the tour dates, and they're coming here to Phoenix August 4th. So you know where I'll be. So if you want to stalk me or murder me, August 4th is the day. And lastly, for the new part of episode 9, before we get into the leftovers from episode 8, I'm going to talk about the new In Flames album. So it came out on March 1st, and I listened to it a couple times, so I'm going to give my little review of it. So In Flames are a Swedish heavy metal band formed by guitarist Jesper Stromblund in 1990 in Gothenburg, Sweden. Along with At the Gates and Dark Tranquillity, In Flames are responsible for developing the genres known as Swedish death metal and melodic death metal. And they do not sound death metal anymore. They changed their sound a few years back. So that is that. A couple of their albums that people really love: Jester Race, Horacle, Colony, and Clayman. That was back during their heavier days. New album has 12 songs on it. No intros, no interludes. 12 straight up songs. I don't even think I said what the name of the album was. It's called I the Mask. Kind of a weird name. Don't understand it. I don't understand a lot of things. Moving on. First song is called Voices. I like the riff of this song. It's got a nice chorus. It's a good solid song to start the album. Nothing else to really say about it. Next song is called I the Mask. It's the title track. Everything I just said about Voices, apply it to this song. Except it doesn't start the album. It's the second song on the album. Third song is called Call My Name. When I first heard this song, I didn't really care for it. I was just kind of like, meh, it's whatever. It's not bad, but it's not great. Listen to it again. You know what? A little bit better. Sometimes things grow on you. Gotta give it multiple listens. That's okie dokie. It's happened to me quite a few times when it comes to music. First time I ever heard Periphery, didn't like them. Gave it a few months, went back, listened to them again, loved them. Your musical taste changes. Sometimes it'll be just the smallest change, and then a band you just didn't like, you love them. So give things multiple chances. Next song is called I Am Above. This is the best song on the album, straight up. Vocals overall on it are great. The chorus, the riffs, there's a cool little guitar solo. Some of the lyrics. Cut my throat and throw me to the wolves. I'm just too tired to reload. I don't need your tears. I don't need your love. Don't need your sympathy. I am above. My God, I don't need you. I won't wait for you to come around. My God is the pain inflicts. I know I bleed. I bleed for you. It's a love song. I don't know if it's a love song. He said he'd bleed for you. I mean, that's pretty loving. Next song is called Follow Me. Starts off softer than some of the previous songs I just mentioned. It's got some acoustic guitar. You could definitely hear this one on the radio. Really good chorus, and the lead guitar plays along with the chorus. The final chorus of the song, the lead guitar kind of plays behind it, which is cool. You know, this is kind of a sleeper song. I really enjoy this song. Could be the second best song on the album. Who knows? Next one is called This Is Our House. At the very beginning, there are some chants, but they're kind of lackluster. Like, I feel like there needs to be something behind the chants, not just the vocals themselves. Luckily, the chants happen again at the very end of the song, and there's music. The instruments are playing behind them, and it makes it sound better. The lyrics are nothing crazy in the song. Guitar solo is a little too short, and the pre-chorus is a little weird to me, but, you know, it's a solid song. Next song is called We Will Remember. This is definitely a radio song. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I listen to the radio like pretty much every day. Love listening to the radio. I love catchy choruses. I love all that stuff. You want to call it radio rock, butt rock, dad rock. I don't care. It's pleasing to my ears. Dagnabbit. So I'm just calling this a radio song so you can kind of get an idea of what it sounds like. It's a radio song. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Next song is called In This Life. Again, everything I just said about the previous song, apply it to this one. Next song is called Burn. Really like this song as well. Very enjoyable. Fits more with the first part of the album than kind of the second part. And it reminds me of a Nothing More song. So I don't remember the name of the Nothing More song, but it has to do with burning. And I think in their song, it's like burn, burn, burn. And then in this song, it's like burn, burn, burn. I don't know. There's something with the word burn that if it has to do with your song, you have to repeat burn multiple times in the chorus. It's like an unwritten rule, but you have to do it. But yeah, really like this song. Good stuff. Next up is Deep Inside. And the beginning of the song has like an Indian as in like India, not Native American. Or like a Middle Eastern kind of sound going on. Kind of like my dog barking. Very strange. Very exotic weapon. I just called him a weapon. Canine. He could be a weapon. I have not unleashed him upon the world. I mean, he could probably kill someone, honestly. With love, of course, not violence. But this sound that's at the beginning of the song, that's the only part that happens. You never hear it again. It's weird. I don't understand that. I don't understand why bands do that. Like, you have this cool sound and you only use it once. What's up with that? It's funny I say that because I'm guilty of doing that. I've done that on a song before where I had a sound and I used it at the very, very beginning. Never used it again. I learned from my mistake. Professional band, however, should know better than that. But with all that said, it's a pretty solid song. I ain't got no issues. Next up is All the Pain. The things I said about We Will Remember and In This Life. This song is that. And lastly, we have Stay With Me. It's got some acoustic guitar. It's kind of like the slowest song on the album. The electric guitar kicks in with about a minute and a half left before the song ends, which gives it a more kind of powerful finish, which is really cool. And it's a nice way to end the album. I like this song a lot. So with all that said, I would give this album about 7.5 out of 10. I think it's a pretty solid rating. And again, these albums, the ratings I give them can all change throughout the year. Because when I review these, I'm reviewing them like a couple days after the album comes out. So there's always room for change or for some songs to grow on me. The score I give an album will never get lower than my initial score. They can only get higher. So that's that. But except for the Crystal Lake album, my score on that is set in stone. Like I said, that album came out in November of last year, but it came to the United States or worldwide on February 15th. So when I reviewed that album, I had already been listening to it for a few months. I had access to it because someone uploaded it on YouTube and never got taken down. So I was just listening to it on YouTube. So that album, I had a few months to really kind of digest and let it sink in. So the Crystal Lake review score is like, that's the score. But everything else, I'm reviewing a couple days after it comes out, like I said, so it could always change. But 7.5 out of 10 I think is pretty good. I'm not like an In Flames fan. I can't call myself a fan. I like a few other songs here and there. Like I'll pick some songs off some albums, but I can't sit here and call myself a fan. So I'm not going into this album as like a hardcore fan. I know a lot of people are mad because they kind of changed their sound up a bit, but you gotta understand, people need to change. People need to explore a bit. If you're creating the same art over and over again, it's gonna get boring. If they made the same album over and over again, it's gonna get boring. This is why I cannot listen to death metal. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but like just straight up death metal, I can't listen to it. All the songs sound the same. Every album sounds the same. It's boring. It's annoying. I don't like it. Experiment a little bit. Do something. Spice it up a bit. I don't know the history of this band. I don't know if, when they're making their heavier stuff, if they were, on that alcohol or drugs. Maybe that has something to do with it and they got off it. The mind altering stuff. Just like with Metallica. People are like, oh, they made better music when they were drinking. Yeah, when they were alcoholics and, partaking some other substances. Yeah. Do you really want them to go back to that stuff just to make an album that you want? Oh no, it sounds kind of selfish to me. Just like Slipknot. Just mentioned Slipknot. First 2 albums were heavier, specifically Iowa. A lot of fans want them to go back to that Iowa sound. Why? They were on alcohol and drugs and filled with hate when they made that album. They're happy now. Why would you want them to go back in that mindset? It doesn't make sense. You're not a true fan if you want them to damage themselves mentally just for an album. That band's been through so much. The vocalist tried to kill himself twice. Didn't happen. He was left for dead once. Obviously survived. He was doing drugs since he was very young. He was an alcoholic. And he overcame all that. And you want him to go back in those deep, dark pits of his mind just to make a heavier album? It's selfish. Get over it. People change. Just be grateful for the fact that bands that you might have liked in the past are still around. They're still doing it, still making music, still touring. Be happy for them. They're still able to live their dreams out. Not everything's about you. Let it be about them. I just want to clarify that Corey, the vocalist of Slipknot, did not try to kill himself during the creation of the Iowa album, but he did try to do it before and after. I'm just saying he's had kind of a troubled life, and he was in a very bad mental state, and he's gotten out of that since then. So I don't like when people tell Slipknot to go back to the Iowa days, because it's like, no, it's a very dark period. I do not want them there. These bands grew up. Maybe you should too. Anyway, a few other albums came out on March 1st. So it was the In Flames album. Then While She Sleeps released an album. Mark Morton released his solo album. Demon Hunter released 2 albums. Periphery released a new song. And Children of Bodom released a new song. And it was so much new music. I listened to all 5 of those albums in a row. And I don't recommend listening to 5 albums in a row. That's way too much new stuff to take in. And by the 4th album, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm probably not going to review the other albums I just said, because, they had some good songs on them, but overall, I don't think I could really get too deep into them. Like, you can check them out yourselves, but it's just, there's some good songs here and there. That's all I'm really going to say.
Let's rewind to January, 15th, 16th, how the whole Dragon Ball Z Broly film came out. Everyone was ecstatic. Fast forward to maybe early February, very late January, a controversy arises. The voice actor for Broly, Vic Mignogna, has been accused of indecent actions at cons, indecent actions with fans, other voice actors, pretty much like saying this dude's been guilty of like sexual harassment, assault, etc. since 2007. And it's pretty odd that this just magically pops up with the whole Broly film, because Vic Mignogna is easily one of the biggest voice actors in the industry, at least in my opinion. But it's just so odd because you have the voice actor Bulma, Goku, Vegeta, like a lot of people just come out of nowhere, like accuse him of this and that, saying, oh, he's not a nice guy, he's this and that. It's a very bizarre thing to me. And what I really want to ask is, based on what I've told you, how do you feel? Because to give a little insight on how Vic Mignogna is, the best way to sum him up is, you remember back in like school, like that overly religious, Bible thumping friend that meant well, but they were kind of odd, maybe a little physical, but not like they won't actively go out of their way to touch you without consent. He was like that, because there's plenty of pictures and videos of him like hugging fans, kissing them on the cheeks. I can see how maybe kissing fans on the cheeks would be odd, but
Yeah, like they don't really know their boundaries.
yeah, but they kind of do. It's like they won't like go up and like trying to do it like without you saying, "Oh no, it's fine" or whatever. But yeah, more or less, he's like that. Pretty much for your 2 cents on it.
Like he doesn't respect the personal space bubbles.
There's been a few moments when he's done that. He's jumped on another a male voice actor's shoulders to like entertain the fans at conventions, and he's also tickled another voice actor without their consent. Like,
Okay, well, tickling's crossing the line. You can't just do that.
but what were your 2 cents on the situation? Like, do you believe he's guilty of like the whole sexual harassment and assault stuff, or do you think it's just kind of the words escaping my mind, like a false mob mentality?
Like they're just ganging up on him to get rid of him.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems like every day someone new is getting accused of something. So it's hard to know like how real something is. Has any like victim or person come forth, or this is just word of mouth from other people?
Supposed victims have come forward, but like when they're asked for definitive proof, it's like they get blown off with the whole "you're a hater." It quickly devolves into a social justice warrior type of dialogue that bothers me. And you would think these accusations have apparently been going on since 2007. So where's the proof? Because one of the most blatant claims I've seen so far is someone claimed that he was making out with a 14-year-old at his booth. But you would think someone would have
At his booth?
like at his booth in the convention. You would think someone would have like video evidence of that happening. You would think it'd be uploaded on YouTube or wherever by now.
I mean, if it's been happening, or if his accusations have been around for over 10 years and nothing's happened, or action hasn't been taken, then I don't know. Because falsely accusing someone of something can like really destroy their life, and then if it comes out they were innocent, like a lot of the damage has already been done. Even
if they try to recover from it and he's innocent, it's too late.
Yeah, some people just won't believe it. I would say neutral for the dude. If there's not evidence, then neutral.
It's gonna be tough trying to stay neutral when you're presented one side and the other that's proven the other side wrong. But if it ends up being he's found guilty illegally, because he's going to take this to court pretty soon, I'm pretty sure, or definitive proof comes out, then I'd probably come back and retract any statements I've made in his defense.
Oh yeah, if he's guilty, then you can't defend him.
Reported rumors of Star Wars Old Republic era stuff coming, focusing mainly on Darth Bane, the creator of the Rule of Two, one master hold of the power, and one apprentice to crave it. I'm hyped for that, if it's actually going to happen.
We're talking live action or animated?
Probably live action. It could work if they go through the old continuity where he starts off as some crappy kid with an abusive father on some mining planet, runs away after killing him to become a Sith Lord. Or not Sith Lord, but like a student at Sith Academy. If they go through that story, it can definitely work because there's so much material and good stuff that can be adapted. If not, I hope they get some good writers because I know that they erased a lot of the expanded universe stuff once Disney bought Lucasfilms. And when I heard originally about that, I was thinking this could be a good chance to bring back Darth Revan. This could be a good chance to have Keanu Reeves play as Darth Revan. Whether that's a TV series, which I'd hope that'd be, or a film, I'd probably be one of the first few people that would jump right on that hype train. Today, like right now, in our respective areas, we meet like a group of aliens. They come down from the skies, and they're not gonna destroy our entire planet or enslave us. They want to just like talk and meet us. And for simplicity's sake, we'll say they can act like the stereotypical gray, big-eyed black aliens, or they can look like a lot like us, but not entirely like us. Like, where do we go from there? Like, we established they're real, they're sentient. Where do we go from there? Since they don't want to destroy us,
we enslave them.
Of taking make it to us. I don't think we're doing enslavement, dog. That's like an ant trying to enslave a person.
You might have a point.
We can't just go say we're gonna go find some oil and liberate their planet. We can't just pull an America with some aliens.
I'm all for aliens, so if there's aliens out there, like, I'm with you, I'm on your side, don't kill me. I'll do anything.
Like I said, if an alien dropped by me, I'd probably have a bit of shock value, but I'd probably overwhelm them like with a billion questions like, oh, are you actually an alien? Are you this and that? What's it like? Etc. The fascination would outweigh any kind of fear that'd probably try to arise. And then the curiosity arises as well. So it's just a whole new world of possibilities. That Aladdin film's not going to do.
I already know aliens are here. I've seen them. I live in the Bermuda Triangle of aliens.
I live in a very odd area for aliens and paranormal stuff.
Like, connect the dots. You have Stardust Ranch here. In Utah, you have... What's the name of that ranch there?
Skinwalker
Ranch there. And then you have Roswell in New Mexico. So if you connect the dots, it's a triangle. Bermuda Triangle of aliens.
I'm actually questioning that FBI document I mentioned. Said like there's 7-8 different alien species that have been living among. What if they weren't full of it? What if they're actually telling the truth? How do we know?
Why would they make a document that wasn't true, though?
It's the government.
But why would they want us to think aliens are real, but then not tell us outright that they're real?
Some ulterior motive. Apparently too stupid to think about.
Maybe aliens are like the Ahamkara in Destiny, where they feed off of people's desires. So our constant desire to know aliens exist, they just feed off that, which is why they can't tell us they exist.
Dog, that's so not fair. That's so not fair.
Cool, Destiny's a true story.
Because that's almost comparable to like the whole tricks thing, where how the motto was tricks are for kids, and out of nowhere, we don't think about it, but as a kid, we saw all the shapes, and randomly, when you're in the store now, you'll see that there are no shapes to it. That could easily be they decided to change the shape one year, but no one really thinks about it. They think, oh crap, I'm an adult now, so I don't see the shapes anymore. They just look like little balls.
It's that Mandela effect, boy. Isn't the mascot for Trix a rabbit?
Yes, he's always been a rabbit.
Yeah, you went down the rabbit hole. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm going to end it there. Thank you so much for listening to episode 9. If you're listening on other services, remember to check us out on YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, make sure to check us out on other services if you're interested. Links in the description to all of our stuff. Twitter, Twitch, all that goodness. And hopefully we will talk to you guys next week. So until then, take care. Later.